Hello, and thank you for joining us for this first episode of my programming step-by-step. So in this episode, very short, we're just going to talk about the course to hopefully get you excited by it so you know what to expect and you know that this is the right thing for you. So, very quickly, because we don't want to waste too much time on this question, why would you want to learn to program? And I think everyone will have a different reason. The reason I wanted to learn to program when I was young is because it is fun. It allows you to do so much. And I hope that anyone who wants to learn to program is wanting to do it because it's fun, not because it'll earn you lots of money, though it might, not because you have to for your course, although you might. Doing it is a lot of fun. It can give you superpowers that you kind of otherwise wouldn't have, and it's possible for everybody. So this is why this course is for you, is because you want to learn to program so you can do cool stuff. And through this course, we will do some pretty cool stuff, and without having to learn all too much. Okay, so a little introduction to how this course works and how it's going to work for you. What we're going to do is we are going to learn to create a game. A lot of programming courses start off with some simple programming exercises like take some text and to make it backwards, or a kind of CD cataloging system was always a very popular one when I was little. We're not going to do that because you don't need that, right? You don't need a CD cataloging system. You don't need something that's going to take some text and reverse it and make it backwards. We want to do something that is going to be fun to do, that you'll be proud of, and that you will kind of feel motivated to continue doing it even if I'm not there looking at you asking you to do it. So yeah, we're going to create a game. It's going to be a very simple game, and I'm going to do it and you're going to do it along with me. Why do we do it this way? So how do people learn? A lot of courses are set up in a way that we will teach you a bunch of stuff. So we will teach you what we might call theory. We'll teach you some skills that you'll kind of sit there and listen to, and then hopefully, if you feel like it, you will go out there and apply them to a real problem. But let's have a think about the types of things that you have become really good at. So for some of you, it might be sport, tennis, football, whatever. That might be something you're really good at. For some of you, it might be computer games. Let's draw a controller there. So you might not think of computer games as something very important and like very valuable to you, but my goodness, some people get really good at them, don't they? How did you get that good at them? What about playing a musical instrument? What should we have? Let's have a guitar here. Yeah, great guitar. How do people get good at these things? People who are great at computer games, did you sit down and listen to a bunch of lectures on how to become good at computer games, and then perhaps at the end, after you've learned everything, then pick up the computer game and try? Of course not. Same with sport. You didn't spend the first kind of 3 or 4 years of your sporting life sitting listening to someone talk about sport and then you were great at it. No. The only way you're going to do this, the only way you're going to be great at anything is to do it. To start doing it, and perhaps you're not very good to begin with, that's absolutely fine. That's how we all start. But you enjoy it and you want to get better. And so you're trying something, perhaps you're trying to get over a level in a computer game and you can't, and then you feel frustrated, I can't get past this boss. So what do you do then? You could give up, that's true. But if you're enjoying it enough and if you're motivated enough and if you want to succeed, you will continue trying, you'll continue practicing. Perhaps you'll go back and do earlier levels to make sure you really nailed all of those skills. You might even go off to the internet and try and watch other people doing it. How do they do it? Do they have any skills and tricks and ideas that you don't have? Are there anything about this game that if you understood it a little better, perhaps if you understood the kind of the battle mechanism in the game or whatever it is, if you understood that, really got it, then you'd be able to complete this level no problem. And that's how people learn. That's how really great learning experiences happen. You try something, you enjoy it, you come up against a challenge, you go away and learn all the things that you need to learn in order to solve that challenge, and then you fix that problem, or you get past that level and you feel great, and you go on. Perhaps the next few levels are easy for you, and then you can and you hit another challenge, and then you learn, and that's how people learn. And the practice is really important, because not only is it the fun bit, it's the bit we all enjoy, it's that practice that gets that knowledge and those skills and those abilities really embedded deep within us. So it's not something that we kind of learn and remember just long enough in order to be able to pass a test. No, it's part of us. It's part of the kind of muscle memory in our fingers and the kind of words on the tip of our tongue. That's how we learn. And that's how we're going to learn in this course, just by building something. And then as soon as we come across a problem, we want the character to do something different that we've not been able to do before. Okay, let's go and learn those skills and develop them to get over that challenge. And then we'll be able to put that into our game. We'll feel great and we'll move on. The way we're going to do this is by using a tool called Tick80. So what is Tick80? We'll see a lot more in kind of future episodes. But one of the really big challenges to learning to program is two big challenges. One is the kind of purpose. Let me write that down. Purpose is that often in programming courses, the purpose of the course, why you're learning it, is in order to be able to program. And that in itself is useful, but you don't kind of why you're learning to do this? Why should you stay awake until 1 o'clock in the morning doing this? Like, what is the purpose? And if the exercises that you're trying to do are kind of, I don't know, reversing a string, or I keep using that example, but sorting a list or something like that, those tools already exist. Like, why should we feel really highly motivated to do them? So the purpose here is a game. It might not be the thing that really, you might not love games, but at least the purpose is clear. We're never asking ourselves, well, what next? Why should I learn this skill? It's always going to be really clear why we're learning the next thing, because it's going to help us do something cool. The other big problem with learning to program is setup. And what we mean by that is, and it's a kind of joke in the programming community, is that you can easily spend days getting all your tools just right. The text editor, try this one, try that one, I prefer this one, now I need some plugins, I want to change the font, the background color, what about this library, that library. You can easily spend most of your programming life tinkering around the edges, trying to get your kind of setup just right, and that's when it works. Worse is when it doesn't work, that you want to use a particular tool but you can't download it because your network's not good enough, and it doesn't install because you've not got the right versions of libraries. That's where programming gets frustrating. So by using something called Tick80, which is a kind of an imaginary little virtual fantasy console, it's a tiny little computer similar to the types of computers that kind of old people like me learned to program on when we were little, the Commodore 64 and the Spectrum, that sort of thing. It just is there. You download it, you run it, everything you need is there. It's very limited, but that's great, because you're not spending your time worrying about, which colors should I choose? You haven't got very many colors to choose in your game, so you just go with whatever you've got. Not perfect, fine. That's not the point. We're not trying to create a finely honed, crafted thing here. We're just something that's fun that will help us to learn. So what can you expect in this course? So by the end of this course, we will have developed a game, you will have developed a game, and we all will have done. And it's that practice that really matters. So what we're going to expect week to week is 4 things. You might not always get these 4 things, but this is kind of how this course is structured. You'll get a short video. The video is going to be really short because you don't want to sit down there for half an hour watching a video. I don't want to sit here recording a video for half an hour. I don't have time. Little videos that you can just quickly watch, boom, 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 on the bus, done. A little quiz. So it's easy to kind of watch a video while not really listening. Perhaps you're playing a game at the same time or chatting to your friend. You're not really watching it. So let's check that we understood it. Let's have a little quiz, 2 or 3 questions, check we got it. If we don't know the answers to the questions, perhaps we didn't watch the video properly. Let's go back and watch it. It's only 10 minutes. Let's watch it again. All right. The important bit here is the challenge, is that I will have shown you how to do something, a new skill. It's no good you just thinking, yep, okay, got it, understand how to do that. It's like learning to drive by watching someone else drive. You know those who've learned to drive. Watch anyone else as much as you like, and when you get there in the driving seat with all the pedals, like, this is a lot harder, this is more interesting, this is more challenging. And so what you need to do is to take on that challenge. It'll be a nice simple challenge. Add this to your game, go off and do this. Brilliant. Report back to me on how you're getting on. And then in some cases, I will have a little kind of optional follow-up lecture, which is for those who want to go a bit deeper. It's not essential, but I'll be explaining, okay, so we learned this programming language. What other programming languages exist? How does this fit into that kind of ecosystem? Purely for those who want to understand a little bit about the background and how this fits into the broader field of programming and computer science. Completely optional, but just to fill in those gaps. If you do this for each one, then boom, before you know it, you'll be programming. You will not be the best programmer in the world. You won't be ready to go out there and get a job in programming, but you'll have the basics nailed. And you'll be able to go out there and start to learn other programming languages and really thrive and feel confidence. That's what you're going to get, confidence. Okay, I understand what these concepts are. I've applied them, and look here, Mum, here's something I've created. So that's your little video for this week. You want to check out the quiz, make sure you've understood it. I've got a little challenge for you, which will probably be the easiest and most fun challenge you'll ever have. And then I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.